Thank you, Carrie. Often it is translated as perfection, paramita, perfection. I actually like the idea that this is beyond perfection. And the reason I prefer that is I want us to let go of the idea of a limit or a structure or a boundary, or it would look like this versus that. And beyond perfection really opens the door to every possibility. It's now infinite without the striving nature, right? This got to get it like this, or because this is, in fact, one of the qualities of mind and heart, these contracted moments that prevent our natural, effortless, fearless, joyful giving. Because then we start this assessment of perfection. Is this enough? Is this too much? Maybe it's should go like, maybe it's this, maybe. And then rather than just the joy arising, the natural energies of giving, gifting, being a part of that self and other exchange, we start analyzing, right? Measuring and causing ourselves really infinite suffering. It's as we understand greed and all of its contractedness comes from an essential fear of not enoughness. And then you just have to look at our world to see all the fear. And then you keep looking and you see all of the suffering that is its result. And it's in every direction, isn't it? And then we have to look even closer to see these small acts, and they're all here in particled form, often just one moment of someone looking into the eyes of another and seeing themselves, right? And seeing themselves, not the other. Just, and then the action is automatic, effortless, spontaneous. It requires no thinking. And in fact, if you could reflect for a moment on your own moments of dana paramita, you would see that it was not calculated, was it? It was not measured. It was not, is this, is right? What about? And the moment we get into it, there is already, just so you know, we're going to practice today, you will feel that little grip, the thing called tanha in the Pali text. Tanha, it actually means unquenchable hunger and thirst. Unquenchable, not enough to take in. And then, if anybody knows the Buddhist cosmology for fun, you might recollect in that tanha, the hungry ghost, right? And the hungry ghost with this little straw-like mouth, this little thin straw-like neck, and this bombastic, gigantic belly that cannot be sufficiently fed, right? The hungry ghost realm, one of the three lower suffering realms. And we all know it. There's no hungry ghost over there. There is just this reality, this connectedness, this knowing of that contracted, and you feel it, I think, don't you? We're grip, grip, uh, right? We know the straw-like, narrowed, diminished quality of this fear that then results in a certain essential greed. Dana Paramita says beyond all relative realities. It doesn't mean you have a lot, does it? We'll give some examples of giving when there in fact was nothing to give, and that of the giving opportunities, that giving is of the highest. When there is no money and there is no bread, what you can still give. And it's, right, you can feel it, right, beyond perfection, beyond measure, we could say, beyond. So do we get this idea? Is this making sense? This is a whole time, Christmas, for our little friend. This Christmas is a time of learning about that exchange. And as a little person, of course, first we just get, right? We have others just provide for us and offer to us and give to us. And sometimes it's toys and fun things, and right? And we say, wow, not only is this fun in the receiving, but I'm looking into the heart and the eyes of the givers, and I see the joy there. And I begin to learn, oh, it is not just in the receiving, it is actually in, right? And then as a little girl myself, my father would say, let's bake something for somebody. And I do it today, right? I do that very same gifting, giving today. Let's bake something for Grandma because she's going to work hard on the raviolis, right? Let's make something. And I remember early going, this feels really good. And in fact, the part I kept was that it felt so good that I just wanted to continue. And of course, now we have a whole community that gets to participate in this way. And we're going to hear from Deb with ElderHelp of San Diego how and why and what she offers. But I will tell you before she comes why I think ElderHelp is so important. One reason is that they work to keep the elders in place in their own homes. We are a culture that can become habituated to get you somewhere. Right? Mom's going to go to the facility over there, and Deb's program is very specific to really wanting people to be able to remain independent in their own homes, right? All of her beneficiaries, I believe, will confirm with her, but I believe are well below the standard poverty lines. They not only are food insecure, I will not use nutrition insecure, I know, Lisa. Food insecure, because I want to keep it real. It's not just between a Dorito and a blank. It's I don't have enough. And otherwise we can get a little caught in like, well, spinach is technically better than blah, blah. And no, this is not the conversation, is it? This is not our conversation. The conversation is you don't have any. That's the conversation. Elders, I think, the research, and we'll check with Deb again, I think elders account for 10 and more percent or higher of the food insecure below the poverty line. And then they are the highest group, by the way, doubly below the poverty line. So of the group that are the most impoverished, it is the elders that are the largest group, just so you know. So at the very, very bottom, because we will provide for children, we will provide for mothers of children, we will not provide for a 71-year-old woman. We will not. We do not have adequate programming and services for that. So this is important, isn't it? Because it is really an underserved, and then that's a ridiculous word. I heard it the other day. It's truly unserved population. And then we decided to do what recently? I think we're cutting Medi-Cal, Medicaid dramatically. That's that population, right? And then you just go, can you feel it? Good. Yeah, all of that. Okay, so I think that's all I really want to say. I want to practice. We're already in good time for that. And so Donna Paramita, be careful. This is not moralistic. That's my first note. This is not being nice. This is not doing good. This is, I want us to let go of all these ideas. This is completely inadequate. It just, right, I'm allergic to this kind of languaging, a nice thing. It is not a nice thing. It's an essential thing. It's not nice. So it's not extra. So get rid of those ideas. This is not extra stuff you get to do. It is the stuff we are privileged in this life to do and must do, right? So when I hear I'm busy, lights me up right there. Right? You just saw my lights. Right? I'm busy. You are. What a privilege. What a privilege. And we have the work as well as to be busy caring for each other. This is the point of busy. We can be busy generating what, monies or services or supports or whatever. So be careful when you say to me, I wish I could, but I'm so busy. You will usually not get me going, I know how hard it is. That will not be it will be find the time, find the way, make the space, create the space for it. It will be of greater benefit to you to do so. You will benefit more greatly than whatever other thing you were making, including cookies. Even that. So just so we know. So watch for this moralistic frame. We can get into right, wrong, goods, bads. It's not being nice, I write. In the Buddhist path, the point of dana paramita, and I've only come into this understanding maybe in the last 5 years, really, and I've been practicing a while, is that the dana paramita is medicine for you. It's not actually the medicine for others. It just happens to be a mutual benefit. But the real medicine of dana paramita, the cure, is to you and your own greediness, your own fearfulness, your own sense of insufficiency, right? Inadequacy, not enoughness, as Tara Brach says, the trance we can all get caught in, especially when you live in a place like this. Right, in a place like this, where everybody's got the next new thing and the Apple Watch that now does the thing. And I've had 4 people in my office this week, and I'm not kidding, who said, do we get the newest Apple Watch for the kids? At least 4. And how do we do that? And what's a way to do that in a way that doesn't just feed greed? The answer is, I don't know. I don't know the way to go, well, they've got a new version. And I don't know if anybody saw the Apple Store yesterday. You couldn't get near it. Why? That's the reason. The newest, the latest, the best. And I think we have to be careful because we are misplaced, aren't we, then, in our understanding of where real joy, real happiness, real ease, real freedom might come. And so dana paramita is the antidote. It is the good medicine for us, not for the other. And so we make that important shift here, really, and it's essential. You're not doing this for somebody else. It's a gross misunderstanding. You're doing this for you. And then in whatever way, what you will see, I believe, is its propagation to your joy, to your ease, to your happiness, to your sense of well-being. I think that's mostly it. I said why the seniors, I think the number in San Diego is something like almost 200,000 impoverished, lack of service, don't get what they need, can't feed their pets. And by the way, an elder will feed their pets before they will feed themselves. So if they get food from Meals on Wheels, guess where that's going first? It's going to their cat, to their dog, just so we know. Food hardships increase most sharply. I didn't know this. Among low income older adults. And so every year, of course, as we are an aging population and community, those numbers are exponentially growing, not reducing. And so, of all the groups in need, the group in need of supports grows exponentially for the elder population, simply because A, there's more of them, and B, because there's less and less service for them. And so that, right, imbalance results in um, not only a lack of food, but then a lack of medical care, not only a lack of medical care, now a lack of dignity, right? And it just is exponential. And I know we understand that interconnectedness as well. So ElderHelp for me, why? I met Deb a couple years ago through Adrian, my dear friend Adrian, and uh, I was so impressed by her commitment. I was impressed by her leadership. She has her own challenges. She is regarding of them and her and others. She's just an impressive, uh, valued individual, and you'll see that when you get to meet her. These are the things they offer: rides, check ins, help navigating services, small safety fixes, companionship that restores dignity, Meals on Wheels. They have partnered with them. They provide pet foods. They provide what I like to think of as real time support. Real time support. Like, I just don't know where to go with this broken thing, that my thermostat, that if I can't fix, I can't have heat, right? And ElderHelp is a group that is going to support um, them. Okay, and so then here's a sutta as we prepare to sit, and this is one of my favorite. Comes from the um, Ivitutaka Ivitutaka Sutta, and this is it, and you will know it if you know anything about this tradition. If beings knew, as I know, the result of giving and sharing, they would not eat a single bite without having given one. They would not eat a single bite without having given one, even if it were their last. They would not eat without having shared. Yeah. And so with that, we'll sit. I don't have my bell, so we're just going to get ready, establishing the body. Thich Nhat Hanh says the next Buddha is likely not to be an individual, but a community of givers. There we are, a community of givers. Sharon Salzberg. We experience joy in intending to give, and then in the giving, and then in the remembering that we gave. How beautiful is that? And may this practice benefit all those who experience food injustice. You notice our uh, group contributes significantly. Calling that good to mind here to World Central Kitchen, to now the San Diego Food Bank, of which we will continue to be partners, to St. Andrew's Food Pantry, to Fill-A-Belly, to all the giving we have done in all the ways we have done it throughout our now 16 years. And I want us to recollect that good so that we can rest in that truth of the vast refuge then available that infinitely open heart. And then as we establish our posture, we're going to rest the hands in a softened, giving gesture, however that can work for you. I want you to feel the naturalness of that. There is no architecting the hands into the giving posture. It falls into giving. Just like this. Nothing you have to do. The hand naturally cups. It naturally opens into the giving gesture. You know this then as the universal giving sign. So then just bringing attention to the body and the breath, particularly in that breathscape. And we're going to see if we can't create a little space and room here. Remember, first recollecting the good we have already done. We just named a few. Of course, it goes well beyond this to infinite moments of your own life. Those who have given to you, and then those you have given to. And I'd like you to just take a moment and recollect them. You could use maybe then your own breath this moment. As we inhale, we are receiving. See if you can open completely to the gift of this one breath. As we are exhaling, we are offering perfect exchange. Letting that breath expand just to include the whole body breathing. Seeing if you can find some ease, some joy in this very exchange of breath. Nourishing the trees, the plants, as they are nourishing us. Effortless exchange. And in this natural exchange, then, I'd like you to do a little reflection, resting in the breath, and not working too hard in the reflection. Let the breath be primary, and it is enough. I'd like you to call to mind a gift you have given or received that was a material gift. This is the first act of giving. Material gift. A toy that you shared. A food item, maybe a favorite dessert or cake that you offered. A meal. Maybe you wrote a check. And it isn't the object that is the point here. It is the felt sense of the giving. Drop into the body here. What do you notice? Feeling where the body is open, being watchful for where you might notice the contractedness. This is often that quality of mind that is measuring. Was it enough? Could I have done more? Maybe I should have. Or if we're in receiving, why me? And see if you can separate the act itself from all of the narratives that we can tend to bring around the giving. Could be food, shelter, money, other supports. And feeling the effects. Feeling what it does directly to your own heart. To the ease, to the openness, to the calm of your own mind. As we rest in the truth of our interconnectedness, we are here for this. And then expanding that heart mind beyond the material to the relational. It is considered the next form of giving, not better or worse. So we're not in measurement, just another possibility. Relational, a time you were there for someone or they were there for you. The unexpected call, the note, the caring words or gestures. It wasn't what they offered, it's that they offered themselves. We know in the Meals on Wheels program that probably the greater nutriment than the food itself is the person who is there checking in, expressing care, concern. And then beyond the relational, it's not probably the right word, it's probably within it, holding all three is the spiritual. And it's a dangerous word, I know. What I really mean is that awakened heart mind in you that is beyond the relative here. It is beyond what you gave, how much you gave, how much you cared, to the largest open heart that is committed as its aspiration to this path. Now we call it the Bodhisattva path, but there is no one right word. The now giving beyond measure one's own quality of heart mind. We're doing this in prayer. We do this in our repetitive phrases as we recite our remembrances. We are also giving to all beings here. that you're sitting here this morning is that gift. Feel the felt sense of that reality. Let gratitude abound. Feel the warmth, the openness. This is not a sentimentality. This is the essential truth of our shared humanity and our willingness to exchange for the good of all beings. And then, as you know, we practice that exchange with the medium of the breath and wishes for well-being. May you be happy. May you be free from distress. With that out-breath, we send these wishes, this warmth, this care, this dana paramita. We send it in and we send it out. And then when you notice a little contractedness, as it will naturally arise, that trance of unworthiness, not enoughness, that fear, that grip, that tanha, remember that unquenchable thirst of the hungry ghost, we actually, rather than reject or try to get rid of, we befriend ourselves in our moment of fear. And we offer kindness even here. This is dana paramita, right here on the spot. May this hungry, fearful, delusional place within me be met with friendliness. May I learn to trust my own goodness. And may that naturally arising, never diminishing open heart be freed from this grip. And feel what happens when we don't fight with whatever is arising. This is dana paramita in action. We offer it to ourselves, we offer it to our loved ones, those we know, those we don't know. Eventually, we offer it continuously to all beings by these very wishes. May you be well. May you be happy. And then we're going to commit ourselves within this beautiful aspiration. We're going to commit ourselves this week to looking for that opportunity to offer something material. Maybe that cookie, that gift. And once again, drop in on the spot and feel the effect. There will be a warmth, an opening, a sense of connectedness, not only in the moment, but beyond. And then we will also practice the relational giving, a word of encouragement, empathy, compassion, love. Make the offering with intent. And feel the healing effects to you. As well as the other. And then this week as well, we will offer our spiritual practice, just as we will offer this practice today, to the benefit, to the welfare of all beings, everywhere without exception. We will offer it at the beginning of the day as the aspiration. We will offer it at the end of the day in its realization. And then we will recommit. And then you can feel that ever-expanding heart. It almost feels like I'm breaking something open for me. That's not the same as a contractedness. That's the getting bigger, wider, including more. Keeping in mind those who are vulnerable, those who are alone, those who are ill, those who are hungry, those who are in need. And watch the natural heart expand. Breathing in, touching that good heart. And then sending it out in all directions. Let it touch all things and all beings. May you be happy. May you be free from pain and suffering. May you recognize the blessing of this human life and its offering across those three realms. May we, with joy, with equanimity, with wisdom, continue that dana paramita with each breath. May this practice lessen suffering. May it continue to expand our hearts. And may it be for the benefit of all beings. And then expanding not only the heart space, but the sense doors. You can begin to open the ears, listening to sounds both close and far. And then when you're ready, you can open the eyes, seeing those shining hearts, not only in yourself, but in others. And then we smile at that possibility. Thank you all for this practice and all of its benefits. Hopefully, a little helpful as we go into this time of gifting and giving and being that goodness. I'm going to check in with our group here in chat. Thank you all for joining. Yes, we do know people who need help with pet food. I think Deb may talk about that. Yes, Rancho Coastal, I think already partners, Robin, potentially with ElderHelp, but that's a right consideration. They have Pet Food Bank. Yes, thank you for reminding us of that. And I think we might now have Deb on. Deb, I want to check in and make sure that you can hear me before I turn the screen around so that we can all listen and watch. Can you?
Yes, I can. I can hear you fine.
All right. Thank you. You're gonna lose me, Deb, now because I'm gonna turn this screen around so that everyone here, we happen to have a lot of people in the garden today. I was completely wrong about that. And I'm gonna put my view on speaker because I think that will give us the best possibility for seeing you as well. So welcome. Welcome, Deb. So wonderful to have you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We've been talking a little bit about ElderHelp already as we did some of the practice. I'm going to flip this around so that others can see you. And we have Adrian here also. Adrian, a long time, very good friend of Deb's. They've worked together forever. They keep working together, good friends. I'm lucky enough to get to see Deb on occasion too. Never enough, not enough. We got to work on that in the new year. I'm going to turn this screen around, and then everybody's going to have to probably huddle a little bit. Tell me if this,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, a lot of bodies, a lot of bodies. You can't even see them all. They go over here, over there, lots going on. All right, Deb, I happen to have a little speaker on that should support us as well. So you just, you start
All
whenever
right.
you're ready, and we're all paying good attention.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to join. I am Deb Martin. I'm the Executive Director of ElderHelp of San Diego. I do know Adrian from way back when we were in the hospitality industry. I did that for about 35 years. And I got passionate about aging and seniors and finding a way to participate in helping them age safely in their homes and communities affordably. And so I found ElderHelp. I call myself the accidental executive director. I'm on my 13th year of my 3-year plan. I love the work and I believe so much in our mission. And I'll take you through some information. There's a lot of information on these slides, and I'm imagining, especially the group at home, that you might not be able to see everything. So I will just highlight the key points, and then if there's any questions at the end, we'll take time for that. And I'll turn off my shared screen so I can see you all, because I won't be able to see you. Also, feel free to put anything in the chat, and I will hopefully grab it after I close the screen. Alrighty, so just to take you through, so our whole mission is to, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Our whole mission is really to provide services and information that help seniors remain independent and live with dignity in their own homes. And I always add, and affordably. We're a local nonprofit founded in 1973 in the basement of a church in South Park, and we've expanded over the county ever since. We've supported over 280,000 seniors and their families since we were founded. We consider ourselves a trusted resource for aging services. We serve at least 40 zip codes throughout the county. Some of our programs are available countywide, and some I would even say nationwide. We have a budget of about 2.3 million, 27 staff members, many of whom are social workers or degreed social workers, and we have about 350 active volunteers. And I'll explain how they all work in a minute. I would say the most typical client that we serve is a widowed woman in her 70s or 80s, living alone, a renter. About 20% of our clients are homeless or at risk of homelessness. They're low income, living on Social Security only, and about 75% are extremely low income with a median income of about $21,000. Some of the barriers we're facing right now, especially in San Diego, of course, are limited incomes. For seniors to be able to afford to live in San Diego, they need nearly 2 times the average Social Security income that we're receiving. San Diego, of course, is 45% higher, more expensive living in San Diego than the national average of living in just about any other city, as you can imagine. Also, the homeless population is the fastest growing segment of over 55. So all we are, we have a rapidly growing population, we have unmet needs, overtaxed system, and there's not a lot of affordable community-based care. And that's where ElderHelp comes in. So we have 6 primary services, and I will take you through them right now and then share a little bit about what they mean. I have to keep moving all your faces out of my screen here. So our information referral and Are You Okay calls. When I first saw that, I kept asking everyone, what are these RUOC calls that we're doing? But they were Are You Okay calls. Information referral, we get thousands of calls a year from people wanting to know how they navigate a hospital discharge or home care. How do I find home help? They have questions about benefits, Medicare, accessing their SNAP food stamp benefits. So we handle thousands of calls a year for information and referral and finding resources. The Are You Okay calls are daily check-in calls we do with some of our more isolated seniors who don't have family. We make about 30 to 40 calls every morning in person to do a check-in and make sure everyone's okay. I will say that a lot of them are signed up for this because they have a pet and they're worried if something happens to them that there won't be somebody to keep an eye on their pet. So we love calling them every morning and talking to them, and it really makes a difference to have that connection. Our nutrition services, we have a pantry. We deliver about 8,000 bags of food a year. We customize it to all diets. We figure out everyone's delivery. We set them up in our software, and then our volunteers choose the routes. They come in and pick up the food and make the deliveries. And that includes a check-in call before and a check-in call after. All of our programs have to do with making contact and having socialization, not just the actual service, but making sure there's a connection of some sort. Our family caregiver support program, we have a lot of caregiver support. I'll talk about a new program in just a little bit, but a lot of caregivers are trying to navigate, obviously, how do I care for my aging loved ones and what are the options and how do I manage my own family or keep my job while I'm doing that? So we have a lot of resources for that. Seniors to Go-Go is our standalone transportation program. We do about 12,000 rides a year using volunteer drivers. I'd say good more than 50% of that is medically related. and that gives them access to their health care that they might not have otherwise. But we also do social. We feel social is equally as important, making sure that they're getting out and having connection with their friends and whatnot. Care coordination is kind of the heart and soul of ElderHelp. That's when we go into a home. We do an intake assessment to understand what's going on in their lives and their income and what they need. We also do a home safety and maintenance check. I'll talk in a minute about our fall prevention, but we do home safety and maintenance. We understand and try to learn exactly what they think they need to stay independent, to advocate for themselves and maintain their lifestyle. And we create a care plan. We match them up with volunteers, whether it's help care for the house, help care for their pet, help pay their bills, help maintain their yard, friendly visiting. They just want companionship, grocery shopping, someone to play cards with, someone to go to church with. We match them with volunteers that fit their particular interests. And then our housing services, which housing obviously is a pretty big thing in San Diego. We have a home share program where if someone has a spare room and bathroom in their home, we match them with someone who's looking for housing, usually either exchange of services and or below market rent. Our average rent right now is about $800. We have matched over 1,100 matches since we started this program 30 years ago. The average length is around 5 or 6 years, and the longest is 17 years. And we're really proud of that home limit. It's stable housing, and it also keeps people from entering into homelessness or at risk of homelessness. So everything we do, if some of you may have heard, there's a phrase that goes around a lot in the aging and healthcare space called social determinants of health. And that's a lot of research is done to target the primary areas that if you focus on these areas in all ages in health and wellness and aging, these are the areas that really make a determination on how long you live and how healthy you are and how long you stay out of the hospital. And that has to do with food and mental health and homelessness, isolation, emergency room visits, and all of that. So all of our programs are geared to try and target those areas. Just a couple of statistics. We do a ton of home safety and maintenance projects. It can be a wide range of things from replacing smoke alarms and carbon monoxide, installing railings, grab bars, tapping down carpets, lighting, you name it. Our clients are, hang on, my screen's blinking out here. Our clients are 8 times less likely to fall than the national average. And that's a huge thing. By reducing the falls from the national average, we save about an estimated $9.6 million in healthcare costs, avoided healthcare costs. Same with hospitalizations. Our clients are 12.5 times less likely to be hospitalized compared to the San Diego County data. Again, by reducing those hospitalizations, we're saving an estimated $9.4 million in avoided healthcare costs. Then there's also homelessness. Like I said, we create a lot of stable housing. When we reduce the possibility of people looking for housing going to homelessness, that's another almost $3 million in savings annually and costs to the city of San Diego in dealing with the homeless crisis. So every year we keep seniors living in their homes longer. In the last 4 years, only 1.8% of our caseload transitioned to long-term care. And of our clients who do go into long-term care, they're 8 years older than the national average. So we believe that a combination of our programs and lifestyle choices are keeping them in their homes 8 years longer than the national average. Again, those 8 years of staying out of long-term care is a savings anywhere between $13 million and $41 million in long-term care costs. And I would say we share an office with Meals on Wheels San Diego. We call it our Senior Innovation Hub. We worked for the last 7 years to create a strong partnership with Meals on Wheels San Diego County. And we're working on integrating our programs and our volunteers and services to create a more well-rounded, holistic approach to care for all of our clients. And we're also partnering with Challenge Centers, who lives in the same office complex that we do. And they're a fabulous nonprofit that focuses on fall prevention, rehab, physical therapy, occupational therapy for seniors and up. And they have amazing programs and amazing equipment specifically tailored to people over the age of 60. And then lastly, I will wrap up. In September, we launched a new program called Naviguide San Diego. It's in partnership with a nonprofit from Dayton, Ohio. And the whole purpose of this program is to be more hands-on and engaged with caregivers, whether it's a family caregiver or a neighbor or somebody else, to really help them get all the resources and support they need if they're providing care to somebody else. So whether it's help them finding resources for in the home, whether it's, mom's being discharged and coming home and we have a new home health aide coming and we don't know her, will you show up in advance to home health aide and make sure they know each other? So anything that it takes to reduce the burden on the caregiver, and to help them with the decision making. Also, the family dynamics can get complicated, and so we can be there as a neutral party to help navigate some of that. And that's a subscriber model. That's $189 a month to be a subscriber for unlimited help for as many people in the house as there are. And then lastly, I'll just say our annual fundraising event is in March, Sunday, March 15th at the beautiful Southwestern Yacht Club. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon where we honor 5 different people or organizations that have been key to who we are. And we have a lovely reception. It's a lot of fun. And we're all welcome to come if you're able to come. It's a great event and it's lighthearted. It's not your chicken dinner in a hotel ballroom kind of event. And even if you don't want to participate in the party, it's just a great afternoon to spend at a beautiful venue. So you're all welcome to come to that if you're interested. And I know I went through that really fast and don't want to take up a ton of your time. I just wanted to give a high level overview of who we are in our programs. And if anyone has any questions about anything, I'm happy to do that. And I can finish with a story or two.
Thanks, Deb. I'm behind the screen so that everyone can see you, but I actually do have a question.
Okay.
My question is, what are you doing in North County, if anything? Are there supports that you might need or that we can assist you with here? And if not, what would be some suggestions you have for ways that we might be able to participate with you or partner with you in a way that would be helpful?
Well, yes, we do serve North County. We go where the demand is and also where the funding is. We used to have funding from Encinitas, but honestly, it was difficult to work with the city, so we have not reapplied for funding from the city of Encinitas. We do have funding from assorted other cities in San Marcos, sometimes Escondido, Vista. We operate a resident services program in Oceanside. So really, we go where the demand is, where we can find volunteers and where there's funding. We always need volunteers. We're 80% of our services delivered in the home with our clients are through volunteers. 80% of our driving is through volunteers. So volunteers is huge. We have a food pantry that serves a good portion of the county. We have an Amazon list online that shows all the items that can be shipped to our pantry to help provide supportive services for that. And we're always looking for partnerships. We do work with certain corporations that might do um, bonding events for their staff where they might put together amenity baskets or get blankets or hygiene supplies or, you name it. A lot of companies will do either gift card drives, for example, or they'll do uh, like I said, the hygiene blanket type personal item drive with and they'll get together and have an employee day where they put their baskets together, their bags together. We do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then corporate partnerships for sponsorship or for our event or donations, things like that. Is that what you were asking about, Diana?
Yes, that's exactly. You've given us a really beautiful menu of possibilities for us here. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what we call it. We call it a beautiful menu.
It is exactly correct. And I'm very excited about that. I'd like to open it to the Sangha. We've got some people all the way in the back and up front. Other questions that you have for Deb about the services, the supports, what she's noticing is needed in addition in San Diego? Because I think she's getting ready to maybe share a story or two about her own or others' experience in her agency regarding the kind of care they provide. Other questions first?
Yeah, I'll ask. It's a fortunate question. These are volunteers. I get that. But these are volunteers that are driving vehicles. These are volunteers that are entering private homes. So I'm wondering if there are any liability concerns that have to be addressed.
It's a great question. All of our volunteers use their own vehicles and they provide a copy of their insurance. They are the primary on on their insurance, so they take on the responsibility of that. I'm going to knock on wood. We've never had an issue. We've never had a problem with that. You know, we're a nonprofit. We're supposed to take risk. You know, we're dealing with sometimes a high risk population. People say, why are you guys installing grab bars without licensed contractors? And like all of our volunteers are trained. They know what they're doing. It's safer for them to have a grab bar than no grab bar at all. So there is a certain amount of risk that we take on, but that's the work, the nature of the work we do. So all of our volunteers do have their own insurance and provide it as a primary. We've never had an issue in the 52 years that we've been doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, and I saw a question about signing up. So if you go to our website, which is elderhelpofsandiego.org, you'll see on there it's how to volunteer. And the volunteer process is great. It's that you'll see a link where you can you put in your information. You'll be contacted by staff who'll take you through it. There's an orientation. And there is a background check and a DMV check if you're going to be driving. So they do the background check and a DMV check. And then once all that's completed and you're enrolled into the program, you get to tell us what it is you're most interested in doing. You can say, I only want to make pantry deliveries, or I'd like to be a friendly visitor, or I'm only comfortable helping with grocery shopping. You know, so all the volunteers can kind of direct. I only have a couple hours a month, or I have 8 hours a month. It really depends. We try to customize it for every volunteer. So once they sign up, they'll have access to all the opportunities in our portal, and they can pick and choose the ones that they want to do unless they're matched up with a client, and then that's slightly different. Our biggest limitation for providing help. Well, I would say we're to keep it affordable, and you know, I have to go out and raise $2.5 million every year. So less than 2% of all foundation funding goes to organizations like ours that focus on senior care. And it's shocking to me because it's the fastest growing population in San Diego. In about 5 years, a quarter of San Diego's population will be over the age of 60. And yet it's one of the smallest amounts of money that are gifted to organizations like ours. So certainly funding is always a challenge. I always say that ElderHelp fills the gaps in services. So we go and we do things that no one else in San Diego County is doing. You know, we're going in the home, we're doing certain volunteer driving. Our pantry is unique. There's no one else home share. And the reason there are gaps, there's no money in them. And so we run to the place where the services are needed, which means we have to raise that every year. So that's it. And the second thing would be, because we do rely so heavily on our volunteers, we constantly have a pipeline of trying to onboard new volunteers. So we're only able to take on new clients and expand services proportionate to the number of volunteers that we have. So I would say that that's a big one. Our biggest needs are transportation and grocery shopping. And the grocery shoppers, you really have to love that. We have some that just grab the information and do the shopping and drop it off at the client's house. We have some clients that want to go shopping with you. And I've done the grocery shopping, and it's a reframing experience, because you know, our quest of wanting to go through the list and get it done, it was about a 2 hour experience. Now they're not all like that. I don't want to put anyone off, but you know, I had to read all the labels, make sure, compare all the pricing. You know, this toilet paper is 4 rolls with 57 sheets, you know, this. And we foster the independence and autonomy. So they want to be able to make their choices and do their own thing. And the first time I did it, I was just wanting to rip through that shopping list. And then I realized I was completely ignoring the whole purpose of maintaining independence and autonomy with that. So I slowed it down, and it all worked out great.
That's great.
But yeah, I say those are some of the barriers. No, we serve any senior over the age of 60, any geographic area, if we have volunteers in that area, any income level, any education, any race, any We don't discriminate based on any of that. We do have some clients who are financially very well off, and they're also highly at risk of fraud and abuse and being taken advantage of. We have several clients who have beautiful homes, but they don't have a lot of cash. They're living on a fixed income, so they still need services. So we assess income information primarily for reporting, but it doesn't take anyone out of receiving our services if they qualify and if they are in need for them.
Thank you. Other questions or comments?
While you guys are thinking of questions, I'll tell you a quick story. There was an example. I think this is a great example of how our staff really work to get to the end of a solution. And we're not just trying to check boxes or have big numbers for contract reports and things like that. In fact, we shy away from taking a lot of government contracts because they want numbers over impact and longevity, generally speaking. And so we had this one client who lived upstairs in a single one-bedroom apartment. She had mobility issues and she was in a two-story apartment building with no elevator. And she had a terrible time getting around. And she wouldn't leave her apartment oftentimes because of her mobility limitations. We had another gentleman on our home share wait list who was low income and he had a Section 8 voucher and he was trying to find housing. And the women's apartment building had a two-bedroom apartment that opened up downstairs, and she really wanted to move down there, but she didn't have a roommate and she couldn't afford to pay for it. So we negotiated with the landlord to take this Section 8 voucher, and we matched her and this other person on the wait list, and we moved them down into the downstairs two-bedroom apartment so that they could both afford it, so they could have companionship, and so she could have access to mobility. So she, and that took several months, but we stay with these things for as long as it takes to come to some kind of solution that benefits everyone. We don't just say, here's a list of affordable housing. And we already know that most of them have wait lists, 6 and 7 year wait lists. It's pointless to give them that list. We're going to try and give them a very usable resource or find the solution with them as best we can. What percentage of seniors are subjected to some sort of elder fraud? That's a great question. I don't know the percentages right now. I will say that, there's two kinds. There's the scams, the scams that are happening, and they're highly prolific right now, especially around Medicare. And I will say that a good portion of the fraud happens by family members, unfortunately. Oftentimes, family members taking advantage of Social Security or access to bank accounts and things like that. So we are mandated reporters. Anytime we see something that we're suspicious about, we do report it. And we also work closely with Adult Protective Services. And a lot of people think if they report to Adult Protective Services, there's going to be, mom's going to be removed from the home or something. It's not like that. Adult Protective Services is there to ensure everybody's safe and create a plan and have a check-in, but they're not going to take a drastic action that's going to cause extreme hardship unless that's an absolute last resort and the safest thing for the people involved. But it is out there, and we do try and educate our clients as best we can to be careful of the fraud.
Is anybody writing on?
No, she's reading out.
Oh, good.
All right, and I can tell you one last story, and then I'll go so you guys can start your rest of your your meditation doesn't wear off from
this
my.
is helpful. Thank you.
What's that?
This has been very helpful. Thank you. We'd love to hear another story.
I'll tell you one last story, then I'll let you guys go. I would just say we had a client who was an exotic. It sounds like a sad story, but I actually think it's a beautiful story. We had a client who was an exotic dancer. And of course, because she was self-employed for many, many years, she did not have Social Security. She never paid into any kind of government benefit thing or all that. And so she owned her home. She was a long-time widowed. We managed to find her a live-in caregiver, and she was a client for a long time. We worked with Sharp, and she decided to turn her home into a charitable annuity so that she could draw money from her home every month to pay her bills and then leave it to charity. And she eventually passed in her home as per her wishes, and she was cremated and wanted to be scattered at sea. But she had no family, and we couldn't locate any family, and her ashes remained unclaimed at the mortuary. And so, of course, that didn't sit right with us. You know, we considered her part of our family. So we worked with the mortuary to get them to release the ashes to us. And we had just started a partnership with Southwestern Yacht Club. So I called one of the members over there and I told them the situation and asked if they would take us out to sea, and they agreed to it. And after a lot of research, we did find her niece and the niece's husband in Arizona. So they drove out, and 5 ElderHelp staff and the niece and the I've been telling this story for 10 years. It still makes me cry. The niece and the husband, they joined us on the boat. And we went out to sea and we said a few words. We tossed flowers, we scattered her ashes, and we had a beautiful ceremony honoring her and her life and her wishes. And I love that story because I think it just shows the heart and care of the ElderHelp team and how so much we want everyone to age with dignity, pass with dignity, and not be alone as they enter into these years. And so all of our work and all of our staff have these huge hearts for this work, and nothing is outlandish for us to consider doing and to make a difference. So that story has always stuck with me, and I think it's really indicative of who we are as an organization.
Beautiful, beautiful, Deb. I'm going to turn this back around so everybody wave bye to Deb. She's going to have to stare at me for a second now. One of the things, of course, our organization, our Sangha doesn't know about you, Deb, is, and they have heard it from me, and I want to say it aloud with you here, is how impressed I am with your commitment to a very vulnerable population, number one, your skill and your amazing leadership, and the difference that you've made. And I really want us to be a part of that. I want you to know that. And you have inspired that in me. I want to thank you directly for that.
Thank you so much. I love this work. I love seniors. I love aging. I just feel strongly that everyone gets the opportunity to age and pass the way we get the opportunity to choose our choices about our living and our life. And so
Yes.
people always go, when are you retiring? I'm like, I'm not retiring. I love this work. And, you know, until I need ElderHelp services, I'm here.
Yeah, then you'll get them. And yes. And Deb also makes a mean bourbon drink, just to share. I miss that, and I'm looking forward to being able to do that with you and Adrian sometime in this new year, Deb.
I thank you all for giving me so much time this morning, and I won't take up any more.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the new year, both as an individual and as a part of our community. So thank you.
Anytime. If there's any questions or follow-up, please feel free to give anyone my email address. I'm happy to answer additional questions or help find resources for anyone who might be dealing with the situation where we might be able to help.
I'm excited about that possibility. Thank you so much, Deb. Happy
Thank you, Evan. Thanks.
You.
Bye, Adrian.
Love
Bye,
you,
Diana.
sweetheart. Love you, honey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
So that's amazing. Very amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. And so I don't know, right? I don't make these kinds of decisions alone, independent. It is not my role or my charge. I do feel like we have tried in the past to do something for the elder community. And I believe it's a vulnerable one and one that is deserving of our care. And I also have not been excited about what we have done. We have done the senior bags. Everybody remembers, we put them together. We've worked with CRC towards that end. It's a little bit disconnected for me. It becomes a lot about things in the bag rather than about the people getting the bags. That has felt a little disconnecting for me. They're complicated because they want exactly that candy bar and exactly that number. And so it takes the real Dana Paramita away from it for me in a way that I think we have to evaluate in the new year. I think will be our charge in this new year, to really look at this more closely. You have already seen that if I do not think personally that something is of benefit, it goes away. We did that with our school program. We were supporting a Nepali school. We went, Carrie and I were there. We went, wait a minute, we're not sure they really need our help. That was the end of that. We don't do things by rote. We don't do things just because we've started them. It has to be with an active, right, wisdom and heart mind, or we cannot continue. I hope we can find a way with CRC, by the way, and a place for us, because here they are local. So far, we're having a little struggle because of their getting so much larger and moving into a much larger corporate model. It's getting harder and harder to find right relationship. I don't think that means it's not possible. I think we've just got to be able to get in there with them, and getting to them is very difficult.
Hi.
Yes.
I'm pretty good friends with the volunteer coordinator.
Yes.
Contact her?
Yeah, we've tried before, Robin. We've worked with Kathy Bird and a bunch of other, Sherry and a bunch of others. We just don't, there's a traction problem.
Yeah.
But I would like us to keep trying, because, here they are. And here we are.
A lot of volunteers, because I've been trying to volunteer.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any room.
No. And so that may mean they don't need us.
Yeah.
Right? Unlike Deb, who I think could really use us. I don't, they may not need us. We live in a fairly affluent area where people may be providing what's needed enough.
Yeah, because I tried to volunteer for the gala. And sorry.
Yeah, can't even do it. Okay. All right.
And Diana, the
Yeah.
one thing I will say is Deb is being very modest. She has won a million awards and honors for how well run
No
she has
doubt
this
about it.
organization. Yeah.
We could hear that. If you didn't get it in the number of stats she rattled off, you got it in her being. You got it there. And so whichever way you were able to connect with that truth, I don't think there's one of us in this room who have missed that. So thank you for underlining that. There's big evidence for it in who she is and how she does this important.
The first volunteer orientation is January 8th.
January 8th, the first volunteer orientation. I will put something into the newsletter about that. We as a community have to kind of, it has to be something we want to support and agree to. So that's a possibility, but I think our board ultimately, something that feels right or not. So we're going to stay with that. We also do have then, I promised I'd mention this, on January 22nd. That is a Thursday. We are doing our first North County San Diego Food Bank food gathering for distribution. We have 5 slotted now. I think that 5 are filled. If anybody wants to join us, we need to know, because we've got to make the request to have others join us. The 5 have filled. We can have up to 15. So if there's anybody who would like to go with us on January 22nd, what I will do, since I'm putting out the newsletter Sunday, is let me know so that we can immediately let San Diego Food Bank know. I've worked with the bank for many, many years as a group coordinator, so I do know they will let us in. There. Greg is just learning the ropes, so he's like, I don't know if they're going to let us do it or not. Trust me, they will. Trust me, they will. Carrying oranges and avocados and things, that you can't have too many people. Can't have too many people. Adrian's laughing because she's been a part of this often. Knows the stories.
Diana,
Yes.
where is the food bank location that you
It's
got
up in Vista.
in Vista?
It's
Okay.
new. It's
Yeah.
new.
It's the one we've been talking about, correct?
Talking about, but is not yet opened. It opens in January, and it's off of Melrose, Tanya.
Okay.
Off of and it will be. It's just starting. They've only had the one down in Mira Mesa. But this is a big deal and a big facility, so I'm very excited about our being able to distribute now up here. Make things easier for us eventually, I think, also with getting food for St. Andrews and. Right.
Well, and I also see the big van, the big truck delivery there at St. Andrews. I think it's on Thursdays as well.
It is.
It might be. And I don't know if they need help there unloading.
They do not.
Okay.
That
Okay.
we need help on Wednesdays when Jim and or Al or whoever is driving the truck to get the food on and off that truck.
Okay.
So we will be putting that in.
In the newsletter.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
think we've been given a Wednesday already.
Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday.
Starting on the 7th of January.
Yeah.
So we're going to be figuring out with Jessica, who I think left. She was so smart to leave. Get out of there while you can. We're going to work out with Jessica how to get a sign up, like Philabelli has. So we just get signed up. I'm going to be at the food bank to help. I'm going to be here at St. Andrews to help unload. I'm going to be in the San Diego Food Bank Thursday. We are going to be doing evenings, not Saturdays, because of the commitment. We thought it would be fun to do after Sangha. It feels like it's probably not going to work out, actually, because of commitments that people have. But Tuesday or Thursday will be days we work for.
You can do just one of the days. Like
Yeah,
Tuesday.
you can sign up for any one thing. Yeah. And then ElderHelp, we're going to continue that conversation. Okay, so here we are. Let's do our dedication and close. Who has to go?
Renee wants to go.
Oh, Renee. Thank you, Renee, for letting me know. Just let me know.
Greg's in charge.
Greg is, yes. Letting me know is probably as good because Greg's not here.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No, we were all just going, is that me? Is that you?
Oh, no, it's Greg. Greg's doing San Diego Food Bank. I probably need to get together with Greg for a little tutorial because it's a large system, so a little confusing. Right? It's not a problem. We have also one more thing then. We still have, it's not 9 o'clock yet. We have a white dish that somebody brought an item, a food item, to a Dia de los Muertos. That dish might be Dia's. And it's nice, so I'm worried about it. Yeah, it's a nice thing. Whose could that be? It's a nice dish.
It's a nice dish. I would use
All right, so I'm using it for the holidays now.
Yes.
There you go. There's that. And then we have another thing, and I'm going to let Jim handle.
As the president of the board, speaking for the Sangha, we want to honor Lynn for her amazing work with Philabelli. And we have a gift, and we're passing the 1 year point.
We've done it a whole year. Yay. Thank you, Lynn.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
We
Lynn.
have a lot of thankful people.
That is a major contribution.
Lee loves the food, by the way.
Yes.
Which is no surprise.
He
He's allowed to.
He does eat with us.
And it's a great group of people. They're family, and we appreciate your helping us join that family. And we clean our plates, so to speak. Literally.
Literally.
And for that, I think the community is grateful as well, and it keeps it away from that raccoon that lives out there.
I was visiting them. Thank you, Lynn,
So
so
thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Your leadership in that has made this year possible
Absolutely.
for us. Without Lynn, we don't have the resources for the coordination, the time, the who's doing what, how we making it happen. Zero waste. Oh my God. We've got the additional benefit there. So we are deep bows to Lynn, to her husband, Paul, also, who takes this as seriously as you do. He does, and it's in evidence, and we are grateful. Thank you. And we hope you'll continue. Whatever we need to do there, we hope you'll continue. And thank you, because it matters what one person can do. It's always blows me away. All right, and so then we just rest the mind in the heart. We soften the body. And we remember all this good. Look at all this good. It blows my mind open and my heart. There is infinite ways to contribute. And if you can't walk, if you can't drive, if you don't have extra money, you can continue to offer blessings and wishes. This is Dana Paramita in action, right there. You begin like that. And so may the goodness of our practice today and this beautiful offering by Deb support the well-being of all the seniors, all those who are sick, who are lonely, who can't drive, who need help with groceries and pet food. May they all benefit. May all those who are hungry be nourished. May we continue to provide not only the physical reality of food, but the way in which it is offered, with care, with dignity, with regard, with fellowship. May all of our practice throughout all time, throughout this lineage and all lineage, may it contribute to the end of suffering and the reality of our interconnectedness, our interbeing. And may we be that Buddha that Thich Nhat Hanh spoke of, the one that is the community acting from care. And then may we recite our prayer. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. May we call to mind all those in particular need, and may they too be of benefit. With blessings for a joyful darkening of the night sky here to come, and the light that follows. That light is you. Thank you all. May this practice be of benefit this day, and may it continue. So be it. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all there on Zoom too. Thanks for sticking around. That was a real organizational, we got it all done. There's a lot going on. Yes. So thank you all for contributing to that and for your well wishes. We will be here next Saturday, the 28th, 7th, 27th. We will not be doing our burning bowl on the 27th. We are going to wait till I think what is then the 3rd or 4th? 3rd. We will do the burning bowl ceremony on the 3rd. I will be sending again out in with the newsletter. Thank you, Carrie. The instructions, because there are a little bit of instructions about things I'm going to ask that you bring, including your things that you're releasing and things that you are aspiring and intentioning for this new year. We do 2 different types of burning. One is burned into ash. That's what we're releasing. We let it burn with salt, and then that will go to the water, just like the mandalas that the monks make. That will get released. I love that task. It's quite joyful. I bring champagne along with me to send that off. And then we will be using little fly paper to write our intentions and aspirations so that that may go upward. That is into spirit. That is into expansion. That is into the all-encompassing luminous goodness. And so though we use fire, we use it in a different way, right? And so that, just know that I'll explain that just a very little in the newsletter, and then you'll come with a pencil, a pen. I will be bringing the fly paper for you. Next week, if you're here, I will be distributing little sheets of paper to burn. for what we are releasing, in case you happen to be here. Okay, lots going on, right? Whew, there it is. Thank you, everyone. Happy holy days, whichever you are celebrating. Thank you all so much. I'll look forward to see. We will have lots of candy and cookies and stuff next Saturday because everyone will be trying to get rid of them. Yes, that will be good. I will be on a premier protein drink because they want me to have that many protein grams before surgery, which is not a bad thing.
Hey, Diana, we can take that extra candy and stuff too that's left over to like I know like some of the nursing staff over at the rehabilitation centers, even though some people are on a healing process. They do offer that with the seniors there, and I mean, people there at that. It's right there on Santa Fe.
So they will take it.
I believe they will. I will
because I know they can't and don't at others.
Oh, well, you know what? I will double check because
Will you do that for me, Tanya? Because that would be lovely. But we have tried that.
Yeah, it's working.
Light for that.
Yeah, working at a senior community, a lot of them cannot take anything homemade.
I don't think
give
so.
to the residents. Maybe the
Right.
staff can have it, but not the residents. Just anything homemade.
I think so, Adrian, right?
Yeah.
We've run into
That's what I've done before in the past when we've had stuff, and I've taken it over here because it's right by my house.
So maybe staff could enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We could do something like that, but I'm not positive we can get that to residents. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya, and for the consideration. Thank you, Adrian, for helping facilitate us getting Deb on. That was lovely.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was just absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, everyone, be well.